My name's Alan Clark and I'm a member of Kirkbymoorside Camera Club, and every year the club has an exhibition, and on alternate years it's a full club exhibition, and in the intermediate years it's an exhibition of black and white photography. So what we've got here in the Manor House in the museum in Huntley Hole is an exhibition of black and white photographs taken by club members, but we've also got a sort of a special exhibition which is titled Ryedale View. We were given some photographic frames, and we decided to use them to put on a rather posh looking exhibition, because ours are normally just mounted, the photographs are just mounted. So using these frames we decided to work on the theme of Ryedale View and asked the members to photograph something in the sort of the district of Ryedale, anything really, but most people, because they're interested in landscapes, will probably go for a landscape photograph. So we've, as well as the black and white exhibition, we've also got the Ryedale View exhibition, which is framed and round the walls in the same room. And both of those exhibitions are running for 3 months from today. So we hope that quite a lot of members of the club will come and steward it at busy times when the museum gets lots of visitors, and it can create something of interest for the visitors to the museum, as well as probably generating a bit more interest in our club.
Well, tell us about the club then, Alan.
We have meetings throughout the year. Most clubs go from sort of September to April, but we do carry on right throughout the year, and we have a meeting every fortnight. In addition to that, we have quite a lot of smaller groups. I run the monochrome group. There's also a creative group, and there's a digital group. There was a beginners group, but they've all advanced beyond the beginner stage, and they're now called developers. If we get new members who are beginners and want to learn the basics, then we could have another beginners group. And all these separate groups meet in Relton Village Hall on a Thursday evening, but on a Thursday evening when we don't have a full club meeting. So there's always something going on, and because these groups are quite small, they are very informal. So the emphasis really is on everybody learning from each other.
Brilliant.
And people ask the sort of questions that they wouldn't like to ask in front of a room full of people. So it's all based on self-help really, but the groups are there really to foster various different interests. I mean, like the monochrome group is there to foster an interest which quite a lot of people have still in making black and white photographs, strangely enough. You know, even though we can do colour, quite a lot of people are still interested in black and white. So we're catering for that really.
So how many members would you have in the group roughly?
In the club has about usually between 60 and 70 members a year, and the various groups usually get about 10, sometimes a dozen. The full club meetings are quite different. Like any other club, we have competitions, and like any other club we have visiting lecturers who come and show their photographs and talk about various things. But because we meet in the summer months as well, we tend to have members' evenings in the summer months. So if a group of people go and photograph something in particular, like a couple of years ago, a few of them kept going down to Saltick Bay to photograph the sunrise and the sunset. Then they came and gave a presentation to the full club of the photographs that they got, and we've got a lot of members who do participate and are willing to stand up and talk about the photographs. You know, they don't just turn up to be entertained, as it were. So it's a very active club in that respect.
With people from a whole range of backgrounds?
Oh yes, I mean there are some people who were born and sort of bred in Kirkbymoorside, but there are also people like myself. You know, I mean, I'm from Teesside and lived in Staffordshire for many years and come back to live up here, and quite a lot of the members are people who from out of the area who've either retired here or moved here with a job. You know.
So is it Kirkbymoorside Camera Club because the founders came from Kirkbymoorside? And
you're asking the wrong person about that. I've only been a member for about 6 years, and I know that initially the club, well, I believe it started in Kirkbymoorside, but it was in a different premises. But I think it always has been based in Kirkbymoorside. But I mean, the members come from quite a wide area. We have people who live in Scarborough who come, even though there is a camera club in Scarborough. People come from the other side of Moulton. We've got one member who actually lives in Boroughbridge, and
Right.
he comes. So it's, you know, the fame is spreading.
So is it quite a well-known club in terms of competitions then,
Well,
in terms of producing, you know, high-quality work?
Well, it is, yes, because most camera clubs are affiliated to a sort of a, well, in our case, the Yorkshire Photographic Union, and they have put an exhibition on every year. Every other areas have their own sort of, like the Midlands, counties one in the Midlands and so on. And we've won the trophy for the best club entry of monochrome prints. We've won it at least twice in about the last 5 years. So we do tend to do quite well against other clubs, even when we have other competitions in the Yorkshire area. And we've been selected by the YPU to represent Yorkshire in national competitions against other clubs from other areas of the country.
Wow.
So I think on a sort of a Yorkshire level, we are probably one of the, you know, the more active and more successful clubs.
Well, we feel really honoured on the town blog to have a weekly exhibition of your photographs. That's great. So it's great to hear that you're very welcoming to beginners. What's the kind of, because we now obviously live in a digital age with digital cameras, what's the kind of basic setup? If someone was just watching this and thinking, yeah, you know, I'd really like to have a go at photography, where do I start? What would you say?
Well, some clubs are very sort of snobbish about photographic gear, but our club isn't at all like that. I mean, you could join our club with nothing more than £100 digital compact camera, and you could actually, you know, you could take photographs with that camera. If you didn't really know how to do it, you would be given a lot of help, and you could actually become an active member just with a very simple camera like that. In fact, there would be no reason why you would need any more expensive gear unless you felt that you wanted something in your photographs that you couldn't get with a basic camera. So there's no restriction at all on photography gear. I mean, I think there are 2 of us still left in the club who still use film. I actually haven't got a digital camera, and there's another chap who's in the same position. Because I get ribbed mercilessly, but so it's all in a friendly way. And I mean, if anybody was to sort of stay with film rather than go digital, you can buy the most fantastic second-hand film cameras for peanuts now, because hardly anybody wants them.
Yeah.
So there's no real financial restriction. You know, you could start with very basic gear, then become a full and active member of the club just using that gear.
But you need to be reasonably literate with using a computer, would you, because of the printing and so on?
Well, if you're going to, yes, in the sense that you know, a lot of people would like to do their own printing. You would then need a computer to download the digital file and an image manipulation thing like Photoshop in order to prepare the file for printing. But quite a lot of members of the club don't actually do their own printing. They use a service from a company called ProAm in Bradford, which you send them a digital file and they will do you a print. And because you can get an A3 size print for about £1, it's actually cheaper than doing your own printing.
Oh.
And to help and facilitate people to use that facility, one of our members, John Nichol, actually organises it for everybody. They just give him the digital file and he sends them all off. So we get a discount for numbers, and they get a print of their own photograph back. So again, you know, you don't need an awful lot of gear, and you can make A3 or have made A3 size prints, which are big exhibition size prints, and compete with them.
So how would anyone find out about Kirkbymoorside Camera Club? You have a website?
We've got a website, yes. So if you Google Kirkbymoorside Camera Club, the website will come up, and on that website there are contact details for anybody who's interested. So you could just phone the secretary and she would arrange for somebody to act as host to you when you first came to the club, and there would be no commitment to join. You could come several times and make your mind up. And we do like to think that we are a friendly club, so that anybody who walks through the door for the first time will always be sort of looked after by one of the committee members usually, and so who stays with them for the evening and just talks them through what's going on. You know.
Brilliant. Well, it sounds like a fantastic club.
Oh, it is. It is a very friendly club. I mean, there are some members who are brilliant photographers, but there are plenty of others who just enjoy it as a sort of a hobby, along with other hobbies. You know, they don't take it too seriously. Everybody seems to fit in together, and we all enjoy ourselves.
Well, thanks very much for telling us all about it, and really good luck with the exhibition.
Thank you very much.